What's up, everybody? Uh, I decided to do a pre-video before the videos because I reading my thread and what people are saying. They listen. Um, I only mentioned Obama due to her making. First of all, hey, thank y'all for tuning in. It's your boy, the furniture guy. But I only mentioned Obama because she had an interview with Dwayne Wade's son, and in the interview, she told Dwayne Wade's son that he was an inspiration to children around the world because Dwayne Wade's son wants to um, become a girl, or he is becoming a girl. A lot of young children look up to Michelle Obama. They aspire to be like whoever. Right, and sometimes we put too much pressure on teenagers to know who you're going to be. Like, what do you want to be when you grow up? Right. That's what I write. It was a question that I hated. Like, how am I supposed to? I'm 13. I'm 12. You're not supposed to know yet. Facts. For the furniture guy, I got my junior with me, young TJ, and I was talking to him earlier about some things in life that it's time for him to start knowing about. I think it's very important that we sit down and talk to our children and allow them to express themselves however they choose to. Now, TJ don't really like the camera like that, y'all, but this segment had a lot to do with him because as a father in this world, I worry for my son. Not that he's shown any reason for me to be worried, but in today's society, they are pushing um, homosexuality on our little boys. So we got to combat that. We got to counter that by educating, informing our children, and also chilling with them, showing them what men's supposed to do, which he done seen me, but maybe I got to reiterate it because this is a fight, and I'm talking about a huge fight. But anyway, what are they doing? Anyway, look at he tripping. He don't like to be on the camera. So I was telling him about Lil Nas X, and I asked him what was his favorite song from Lil Nas X, and what was your favorite song?
His first song.
What was the first song?
I'm gonna take my horse to the old town road. I'm gonna
ride till I can't no more. Hey, we all was into that, right? I liked that song too. I liked that song too.
That was the biggest song, I think.
Right, yeah, he got like 744 million views on that song. But in the last 2-3 years, Lil Nas just started doing stuff that was putting his sexual preference out to the public. I told TJ, like, I'm telling TJ, hey, listen, this is a fight for mankind. So, TJ, can two men make children?
No.
Right. So, how did you get here?
My mom and dad being together.
You got here by who?
My mom and dad being together.
Right. You got here by your mom and dad being together. So, without her, could I have made you?
No.
Without her, right. And without me, could she had made you?
No.
Unless what?
Unless.
What would she had to have to make you?
A man.
A man. And she would have had to have a man to make you. Right. She would have had to have his, remember that word?
Sperm.
His sperm. She would have had to have his sperm. So it's very important that we teach our children these things instead of allowing the TV and YouTube, because what happened? You say you was watching a video, and what happened?
I was watching an ad, and he popped up on there.
And what you do?
Well, it was about logic, defy logic.
It was about defying logic.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's dope. We're gonna talk about that too. So.
And Logic is this kind of company.
Okay.
I think.
Okay, so what happened is you was watching that?
Oh, I wanted to skip the ad right away. It just had a song on there. So I just took my headphones off and then waited until it said skip ad.
Oh, okay. But did you watch it though? I mean, you took your headphone off, but did you watch it?
I watched it a few times.
You watched Lil Nas X a few times?
No, the ad.
Oh, you watched the ad, but you said you was trying to click off something right away. What were you talking about?
The ad. I
But
don't
you
know
just
why
said
I did
you
that
watched
now.
the ad 2-3 times, a few times.
That was in the past.
Oh, until I told you about him.
Yeah.
You wasn't aware, right? Have you ever seen some of the stuff that he does?
Yeah.
What you seen that he does that you think that I wouldn't do, or you don't think we as men or boys should be doing?
And it's something in this song. I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I understand that. So we don't need to listen to his music, right?
Yeah.
We need to stay away from his music. And then, do you think it's okay the way that he dresses? Do you think would you dress like him?
No.
Why
I don't
not?
wear dresses.
Right. We're not gonna do that. Now, have I ever said, son, you better not put on no damn dress or I'm gonna whoop your ass? Have I ever said that?
No.
You understand that you're not supposed to wear dresses, right?
Yes.
You seen me wear a dress?
No.
Right. Do you think Lil Nas is popular?
I don't think not. No, I don't think now. But I think YouTube's trying to make them.
Wow, that's major what you said. They are trying to make him. That's real, son. They are actually pushing him out there. He is popular though, by the way, son. If you got 744 million views.
But that was in the past.
Oh,
I bet parents said that he wasn't good, and
right.
then that's how he got unpopular. But I bet they still know his name, but don't know what he did exactly.
Okay. Now, as I'm gonna say in this video coming up, sexual preference or preference depends on the person. The only problem as a parent that I have, son, and people, is that they are conditioning people to be a certain way. Do you know what that means, conditioning?
Conditioning?
What you think it means when I say they are conditioning? What do you think that means?
Giving people something? Or
in a sense, let's say like if you training for something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They train your mind by showing you over and over and over and over and over. Most songs that you learn, how do you learn that song? Do you learn it because you heard it a lot and then you eventually remembered the words? Or
yes.
Right. So if you continue to see that on TV, boys kissing boys, girls kissing girls, then what are they doing to you?
Making me
Making you think what?
Making me think that's all right.
Right. And we can't as people allow that to happen to our children. They're taking away your freedom of choice, your freedom of decision. That's a decision you should not be making, in my opinion, until you're old enough to do so. And I don't feel like how old are you?
9.
You're 9 years old. I know how old my son is. I just checking him. But I don't feel like at 9, that's something that you should be deciding. You ever heard of Dwayne Wade? He's a basketball player.
No.
Okay, since you haven't heard him, we won't go into him. But listen, y'all, I just wanted to have me and him had a conversation earlier, and you know, I had told him I made a video about Lil Nas X. He know how I feel, and not just Lil Nas X, but Lil Nas X is popular to his generation. even though he doesn't realize that he really is. And as a father, I can't sit back and watch the this evilness to, and I'm not saying Lil Nas X, but he's a part of it. We all are a part of some sort of wickedness, but that I mean, it's other things too, because people gonna say, well, you say that's wicked, but you gamble. People that this ain't about sin or nothing to meet with me. This is about mankind. This is about creating, procreating. Mankind is womankind. You got woman and man. You spell woman WOMAN. You spell man MAN. So when you say mankind, you are referring to both. Okay.
Well, why would they put the WO?
I don't know why. We'll have to look up what the woe means. Woe means maybe womb, because you come from a woman's womb, and womb is, I'm thinking WOMB, right? So woman. I think that's where it comes from. And y'all let me know if I'm right. I might be on to something. Womb man. You come from a woman's womb. Okay? And she's a man. Woman. See, they listen, we gotta talk to our children, because they are 24/7 putting this in our children's head. They teaching the evilness of the world is working 24/7. I'm not about to sit back. I'm gonna talk to my son about sex, all of that. From here on out, he gotta know. I mean, I've already told him don't have, go have children with somebody who don't have any. So that's a part of sex. But they need to know, the dangers of sex and the consequences behind having sex unprotected with different women, and how they can get you in a whole nother situation. But that's a whole nother conversation that we're going to have. But anyway, this your boy, the Furniture Guy. Tell him who you is, big dog. Okay, he ain't got to say who he is. This is my son. And he didn't want to be on camera, but I felt like he could help other little boys as well. So y'all bring your children to the screen, let them see. This is what we dealing with. I'ma holler at y'all. What's up, y'all? It's your boy, the Furniture Guy. And I was just thinking, I wanted to talk about something that I feel like, it's I feel like it needed to be said. But I been checking out this artist by the name of Lil Nas X, probably since he came out, since the Old Town Road. And when he initially came out, I never looked at him as a rapper. I thought it was a pretty good song. It was a song that you heard it over and over again, and it kind of wore on you. Really wasn't my style, but I understood. But I would say in the last 2 years or so, maybe 3, I'm somewhere up in there. The young man decided that he was gonna let the world know his sexual preference. And just the other night, he was on the BET Awards, and I didn't watch it live. I don't really watch a lot of TV. I kind of go back and check things out. What I want to, I watch what I call controlled TV, and YouTube to me, Netflix, all those different types of apps that we got now. That's what I call controlled TV. Things that we can't control is like BET and stuff, the live, but I can decide whether or not I want to watch it after the fact. And I decided to watch it. And it was a lot I didn't like. I didn't care too much for Kirk Franklin coming out with the artist Lil Baby. But that's a whole nother subject. I'm here today to talk about the ending. First of all, Lil Nas X's whole setup, from the dress to the ending in his performance, and him and what he decided to do, what he decided to display to the world. Now, I have children, And particularly my son is what I'm more concerned about, because I see now that the agenda is not toward the men. It is toward our boys, our young boys. It's to in a sense control them and teach them a certain way to be. They are not becoming a way because they want to. They are being conditioned to be a certain way. So once I watched this video of what he was doing, I immediately called my children's mother. And I said to her, well, it was via text. Must have been about 11:30 at night, 12 o'clock. But I was so concerned. I was so upset, and like, I got to protect my son. And I said to her, we live in separate houses. And I said to her, hey, listen, could you monitor what the children are watching when they're around you, in particularly, and it's a whole lot. Like, we need to throw away the whole rap genre right now, because it's all about destruction. And this is not happening by coincidence. This is design. So I said, Lil Nas X in particular, I don't want my son watching him at all. If you see that, let him know we don't want him watching that. And she agreed with me. I have already in the past told my son I did not want him watching Lil Nas X. But I can only control what's going on inside of my home. But I felt us as parents, we would be able to co-parent when it came to that, and she would understand where I was coming from. This world is wicked. Now, when it comes to people's sexual preference, that should be one's business. That's your business. But in this day and time, it is almost as if they are trying to prove a point. Like, okay, if that's what you want to do, then do it. But what is the purpose behind pushing it to the masses through media outlets, through TV outlets? What is the real agenda? Why? And I feel like it's an attack. It's a war on our young men, our young boys. Not men in their 20s and 30s, boys starting at the age of 5 or 4, 3. When they start understanding 2, y'all forgive me, I got a little head cold that's going away, thank God. Man, thank you, I'm glad it's going away. But anyway, they are starting at them so early. And I called my son on yesterday, and I asked him about Lil Nas X, and he said, "Oh, Dad, I'm glad you called." He said, "Because you remember you told me not to watch him, and I was watching something on YouTube, and it went to my son is very smart. He's 9, and he was like, it went to an advertisement in Lil Nas X, and I quickly got out of the video." He said he stopped watching the video. And I was proud to hear that from my son, because it let me know that he listened to what I said. He was being obedient to what I told him to not do while I wasn't around. He knew my dad said don't watch that. But I gotta continue to reiterate this to my son. I'm in my children's life. So if my children grow up and decide to go a certain way, they can't say that I didn't teach or give them. They can't say that I didn't give them the tools. They didn't say I didn't try to equip them or lay the foundation for them when it comes to anything, just thinking for themselves. And I feel like we are living in times where this is a robotic culture, and nobody is thinking for themselves. We are not taught to critically think within the black community. There's so many rights being passed, laws being passed to protect gay rights. And, I'm not against anybody in their sexual preference, but my whole point is that I'm against is, why are y'all trying to make a point about it on TV? Okay, if you out and about living your life, that's fine. Have confidence in you living your life and doing whatever it is that you. But when you go on TV and it's in everything that we see, and I really think that this started from religion, because for years we would see popes, or not necessarily popes, but maybe them too. But for years we would see, I don't forgot what they call them, like the pastors or the fathers of Catholic churches. We would see them get caught into these scandals with dealing with boys, and I'm thinking they are trying to make this normal. In 10 to 20 years, to be a manly man, it won't exist. Even now, in the metros, the metrosexual man is considered the manly man, but it's like they're using this to usher in, the feminist men, because a metrosexual man is a man who, he is a man, he's a straight man, but he's more concerned about his appearance, and the upkeep of himself, which is all right, and I'm borderline that type of man, but I don't want my son to be a part of the destruction of the human race, because this is what this is about. This ain't about sex. This is about the destruction of mankind. Two men can't recreate, but I guess mankind is on their way of trying to figure out how to recreate in other ways. We are in the hands of the wicked. No matter what you consider the wicked to be, or what you consider wickedness to be, we are in the hands of it. And I'm not coming from no Christianity standpoint. Forget them. Forget them. We need to back away from the church, period. And that's what my children's mother said. They need to be deeply rooted in the Christ. And I had to explain to her, hey, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but it's us, because homosexuality is running rampant in the church. So we can't depend on looking at your pastor, or I don't go to church, but if I had a pastor, looking at him to help out, it's on me and you. So this is what we got to do. I need to be around my son more. I mean, I have joint custody of my children, but I'm in a fight for my son's masculinity. And I love my daughter, because also, and I see the same happening with young girls also. It's becoming more acceptable for accepted for a young girl to be more masculine, for her to be independent. I don't need a man. I teach my daughter, hey, listen, it's all right to be independent, but it's okay to have a man too. I want you to work with a man and not against a man. Listen, build a family. We need to keep creating. We don't need to stop. So, these are the things we need to teach our children. And Lil Nas X, I deeply don't believe the boy is gay. I think he is, in a sense, gay for pay. I really feel like that, and I don't know why. But if he is, it's his business. But I'm not even going to say him, because I know he's being controlled as well. But he's accepted it, and he's doing it. But to the powers that be, or the entity that's doing this, I do not. They're going to do it. They are going to do it. We gotta accept it that they are going to do it, but we gotta know that there's a fight against our young boys, and we got to combat that fight. We gotta figure out, okay, they are doing this. How are we gonna come back at that? We gotta figure this out as men. If you have a son, if you have a daughter, we gotta figure this out as men. How do we combat this? Because it's happening. It's happening. And we are not going to be able to stop what they are doing on a mass scale. So we got to get together as men and say, hey, listen, as men and women, listen, we see what's going on. We don't want this to stop us to be able to procreate. These children are not necessarily wanting to be this way. They are being conditioned to be this way. You had Michelle Obama come out with the interview with Dwayne Wade's son, who is now saying he wants to be a girl, who has been for some time, and saying that he is aspiring to children all over the world. What kind of shit is that? And people admire the Obamas. I say to them, go to hell. If hell exists, to the Obamas, go to hell. Listen, the best thing for us to do is grab a hold of our sons and daughters. Men, I'm saying men, wake up, brothers. Be strong. Grab a hold of your family and you fight. This ain't going like this. And if it means you got to die, then it's time for us to die. Today is a good day to die. This is just a body. That's all it is. Don't be afraid. Don't fear it. But if I leave here, I cannot, and with my same mind at this point right now, I cannot in my mind right now say I can't tell my son what's going on. No. We have to be more transparent than ever. Tell them. Let them know what's going on. Stop them if it's possible before it's too late. Because all that they doing is bull. I'm not supporting BET. I'm not matter of fact, I don't even watch Ben Stop that. I don't watch that stuff. I just go back and check it out, what I want to see. But all of it's bull. Know who that is? Remember what I said, though. Peace be with y'all.